Welcome back, everyone. KJ4YZ, HamRadioConcepts. And in the last couple of videos with the contesting and the field day and stuff, I've gotten droves of emails and comments of people that are asking, I'm not too sure, what in the world are you saying in that contact, and why are you just giving exchanges of letters and numbers on ham radio? And then you get the other guy that says, ham radio sucks if that's all this is. Let me explain a little bit what we're doing, what the purpose is, what those letters and numbers mean when you're on the ham radio and you're doing something other than just jacking your jaw with the guy. You're doing contesting or some sort of special event. Let's talk about it.
Yankee Zulu India, please copy kilowatt 8 uniform Oscar, 8 India, Michigan, 8 India, Michigan, over.
I have the 8 India, Michigan, copy 1 Oscar, South Florida, Sierra Foxtrot Lima, over. Whiskey 4 Oscar Tango, 6 Alpha, Sierra Foxtrot Lima.
I got it. Please copy 147, 147 uniform, Kilo Alpha 1, Yankee Quebec Charlie, check 9191 Echo Mike Alpha.
All these acronyms, all these words, letters, numbers, what do they mean? And this video is for the newbie or the newcomer to ham radio who's never done this, because I feel I may have accidentally portrayed that ham radio is nothing but doing this on the air and exchanging letters and numbers. I've got a lot of comments and a lot of email and droves that said, Eric, why do I want to keep studying for a ham license if this is all you're doing is giving these words out? How about talk about the weather up north or the hurricane that happened here? Yes, there is rag chewing. You can get on there and talk to people. You don't have to contest. But first off, I tell you to subscribe to my channel because I have multiple videos about contesting for the reason of this, because it's a proven fact, and don't let anybody tell you different. A contest or a special event will cause people to turn their radios on when they say the bands are dead, and there's no reason to turn your radio on. It's funny that you turn it on a contest or a field day, and it's booked band edge to band edge. You can't find a free frequency. So that's an opportunity for me to get on and show what, activities out there during a contest and to show operating on HF. Now, I got a couple tabs up here, and I'm going to show you a couple ideas of different contests, and we're going to go through and explain, try to be as quick as possible, and explain what you're hearing, okay? Again, it's not for everybody. You don't have to be a contester. I sort of get this rush when I do this, and I'm out of disk space, this says. I get a rush because I can run a pile up for 2-3 hours and get like 200 or 300 contacts real quick. And let's talk about these tabs up here and these couple of events, and I'll show you a calendar on other events that happen on ham radio. But for instance, we have a couple tabs up here. I'm going to start here with the ARRL. Okay, the ARRL field day is one day, 24 hours, usually the last weekend in June. And this weekend is from usually 2 p.m. Saturday to 2 p.m. Sunday. It's a field day by ARRL. That is, what's the objective? Here's the objective right here. To contact as many stations as possible on the 160, 80, 40, 20, 15, and 10 meter HF bands, as well as all bands 50 megahertz and above, and to learn to operate in abnormal situations in less than optimal conditions. It's basically to get you out there and operate radio. Let's look at Winter Field Day, which is not run by ARRL. It's run by a 501c3, the Winter Field Day Association. But the objective in the rules here, purpose, to foster ham camaraderie, field operation, emergency operating preparedness, and just plain on the air outdoor fun in the midst of winter for American, Canadian, and DX hams. Again, a reason to get out there, have bagels, meet like I did in the video this weekend from Winter Field Day, meet with the Vero Beach amateur radio guys or your local clubs, operate radios, try new antennas, operate on portable and batteries, stuff like that. You can do this from home too. I'll get to that. But it's fun to get out there with a reason to be out in the field and operate this. And it gives you a reason to make contacts, okay? How about this, the CQWPX contest? Now, I've done this before, and the objective of this, wait a second, where's the rules? The objective of this, for amateurs worldwide to contact as many amateurs and prefixes as possible during the contest period. So again, not all bands, because the WARC bands, 30, 17, and 12 meters, along with 60 meters, which is very limited bandwidth, you don't have contesting on those work bands. And you don't have to contest on 20. It just so happens that there's going to be a lot of people on 20 meters, and it's going to be hard to find a frequency available for rag chewing. Okay? But in the meantime, that's your objective. Now, if you go to bands and modes here, 160, 80, 40, 20, 15, and 10, as well as 50 megahertz and above, all modes. That's CW, AM, sideband. Want to brush up on your CW? This is the day to do it. Want to brush up on some of the digital modes? This is the day to do it. Not a contest. Field day is not a contest. But let's go back a second. To contact as many stations as possible. To contact as many stations as possible, right? When you say that, it's hard to talk amongst these people and get as many contacts when you have to tell everybody your radio, your antenna, where you're at, your prescription medication that got filled last week, the weather. Your son graduated from college, you're buying a new truck, the water temperature is 68. That takes time. So what happens is it all gets abbreviated. You're just trying to knock out contacts. So let's talk about how they're grouped together, because you've heard me saying 4 Oscar, Sierra Foxtrot Lima, or 5 Alpha, Sierra Foxtrot Lima. What does that mean? So we're going to go back to the field day rules just a second. We're going to go down here to, we got rules, entry forms. We go to field day packet. Again, ARRL site, a lot of information. We're going to scroll down through all this, and we're just going to show you the classes of stations. For instance, let's start here. Class A, club or non-club portable. And the definition of a Class A station is a club or non-club group of 3 or more persons set up specifically for field day. Such stations must be located in places that are not regular station locations and must not use facilities installed for permanent station use or any structure installed permanently for field day, such as a club place, a club hangout, a park, park building, whatever. This is the Indian River County Emergency Management Mobile Communications Unit. They have generators, they have staff, they have volunteers. They got the batteries under here, wires up here. They got wires to the flag poles. They got, Moxon for 6 meters over here. Just got done eating, so we have a station down here. One station down there working. Got a station over here at that table. Station over there. Look at the wires, coax everywhere, right? Emergency power, got a couple. We got a antenna here. Didn't know that was there. That looks like it's for maybe 2 meters. UHF something, but then you got I think that's an alpha up there. I'm not sure. You got more so there must be about 15 generators here. So everything is on generator power. There is no commercial power on generator over there. A little Honda Quiet 3000 set up here with a MFJ loop tuner. You remember my loop tuner that I had. This is the high power version.
Does it have electric power steering?
Looks like it's got probably a 40 meter loop or 80 meter loop. And it's all equipment, including antennas, must lie within a circle whose diameter is 1,000 feet. So you can't operate your remote station in Florida from New York. That doesn't count. They want you to get out as a Class A station, club or non-club, 3 or more people, you're a Class A station. So what that would mean is, if I was with the club, W4OT, I would say Whiskey 4 Oscar Tango, 4 Alpha, or 5 Alpha, which is 5 total stations working, not 5 people, not 5 attendees, 5 stations set up, Alpha, A. And then your location, which would be on a map. And when you look at here, you heard me say Sierra Foxtrot Lima, or South Florida. If you look down here, Florida is split into 3 groups: North Florida, West Central Florida, South Florida. So if you're in this red area, you're South Florida. So 5 Alpha, Sierra Foxtrot Lima means there's 5 stations set up, Alpha class, in South Florida. That gives the other person, they can really quick write it in their log, and they come back to you. Okay, this is Whiskey 4 Victor, copy 3 Delta, Ohio, OH. Okay, what's 3 Delta? Well, let's go back to this for a second and look, right? So we have, that's Class A. Now you have Class A battery. Class A battery is the same, but, 3 or more people set up specifically for field day, but all contacts must be made using an output power of 5 watts or less, And the power source must be something other than commercial power mains or motor-driven generator. For example, batteries, solar cells, and water-driven generator. So if you really want to be a club that does this as a Class A battery, then you're out there with solar panels and that's it, right? What about B, 1 or 2 person portable? Field day station set up and operated by no more than 2 persons. 1 and 2 person Class B entries. So Class B would be, 2 Bravo. Then you have B battery. Then you have C mobile. Stations and vehicles capable of operating while in motion and normally operated in this manner. So I would be 1 Charlie. If it was me by myself mobile, it would be KJ4YZI, 1 Charlie, Sierra Foxtrot Lima, South Florida. Or if I was in Wyoming, it'd be Whiskey Yankee, right? So you get the idea. There's all the way down to F. F would be Emergency Operations Center, a radio station established at an EOC, activated by a club or non-club group, must take place at an established Emergency Operations Center site. And there's the info there. Now, that's in a nutshell Summer Field Day by ARRL. Now, let's go to Winter Field Day, which is what I just participated in, and it's a little bit different. Okay, we're going to go to rules. Now, the rules here, suggested frequencies, again, no work bands, okay, and they don't allow FT8. So you could use CW, sideband, AM, FM, D-Star, System Fusion, DMR, single, slow scan TV, satellites, but you can't use FT8. Why? Because it says any mode that can faithfully transmit the exchange intact without a conversion table. So they want you to actually be involved in this, not let the computer do your FT8 contacts, okay? And there's 3 categories here, indoor, outdoor, and home. So at Field Day, we were 4 Oscar at the W4OT Field Day. 4 Oscar. 4 stations set up running, outdoor. Operation from a location partly or fully exposed to the elements and at least 30 feet away from your normal station location and not using any part of a previously erected antenna system or ham station. A campground, park pavilion, canopy, picnic table, tent, which is exactly what we were, okay? If you're home, because again, some people, I get it, your physical ailments or your health, you can't get out, fine, I get it. There are home stations, you can operate this from home, but it gives you a reason to get on the air and a lot more contacts to be made. Now, if you're not a contester, again, this isn't a contest, Winter Field Day or summer. They just call it contesting. You don't have to do that. Find somebody, if you can, between the frequencies or on a work band and just rag chew. Hey, how you doing? I got a boat today. Let me tell you about my Evinrude 70 horse, That can happen. So this is, Winter Field Day, so indoor, outdoor, home. Again, gives you a reason to get out there. What about the CQWPX contest? So the period operation is 48 hours, and there's some scoring by points. The points see right here, contacts between stations on different continents are worth 3 points on 10 meters, 15 meters, and 20 meters, and 6 points on 7 megahertz, 80 meters and stuff like that. So they rack up points, and the points attribute to, did you, have a single operator or a dual operator? Were you using high power 1500 watts or QRP 5 watts? And all those factors give you points. And in the end of this WPX contest, if you go up here to records, you can see by region people that had the most points for sideband and CW. Look at this. 121 million points in 2015. A multi-operator, multi-station, we'll call CN2AA. And people get off on that. They want to have points and records for the world. Fine. Let them do it. Here's the big secret of ham radio, if someone hasn't told you yet. You can do whatever you want. You don't have to do what I have to do or what I want to do. You don't have to do what your buddy wants to do. You can do whatever you want to make you happy, whether it be rag chew or contest. That's what makes our hobby so impressive. And without all these options like this, it would be boring, So don't hate on it if it's not for you. Don't be that guy that tells me to stop making videos and trying to be a superstar because I'm showing that I can make contacts and they're going to purposely turn the radio off on a contest. Fine. But that new guy that wants to be in that and deal with that and make those contacts on a contest, be that guy and show your friends and explain to them the difference. That's all it's about. See, this video, I did this video a while ago. You could tell on the radio I had, this was, 2017. So another contest, and I'll show you the calendar in a second. Another one is the VHF contest, 6 meters and 2 meters. I think even UHF, but it's awesome. Now the difference with this contest is they're only trying to collect grid squares. Now you get into grid squares. Echo Lima 97. That's my grid square. And you can go on the grid square map online and you can look at your grid square. But on 6 meters, it opens so fast and it just changes propagation in seconds and minutes. There's no time to give all this information. KJ4YZI Echo Lima 97. Thanks, 73 QRZ. KJ4YZI copy Echo Lima 97. That's all it's about. And then you may say again, that's boring. Well, wait until you experience that rush one time on 6 meters. The band will open to Australia for 5 seconds. The next thing you know, you're talking to Russia. Next thing you know, it changes around. You're talking to California. It's called the Magic Band for a reason. Right here. Get started on the Magic Band. 102,000 views. Check that one out. And that's old, but that is pertinent information even to this day. One of my favorite bands of all, and one of my favorite contests. Yes, you can work across the United States on 2 meters if the conditions are right. Okay, and one more thing I'll show you, the link here in the description, the ARRL contest calendar, so check it out. Contests for the next 12 months are listed below. Look at this. Straight Key Night, Kids Day, RIDI Roundup, January VHF. Oh, I missed that one. School Club Roundup. Look at this. International DX Phone in March. Rookie Roundup in April. The June VHF, Kids Day, Field Day, 222 megahertz and up distance contest. Look at this. EME, Moon Bounce, 2.3 gig and up. Contests everywhere. Not every day, and you don't have to do it. But, School Club Roundup. It's, you know what? I'll tell you this. Let me just throw this in here for a second, too, if you haven't heard this or seen me do this. On Kids Day or Jamboree or School Club Roundup, if I remember and get on those days, and there's other people, those kids to me come first. Those kids that are just trying, they're either with the club or with their dad or whatever, or they just got their license and they sound nervous. I want to talk to them. I want to be their first or second or third contest. How rewarding is it? Put your ego away and just get on there and talk to that kid. Let that kid remember he talked to somebody across the continent, across the state, or across the world, and get him involved. We need more young blood. That's what I'm here for. I'm trying to get people interested, make it a little bit fun. Talk to the kids. Just give them ideas. You don't have to tell them and teach them. Just be there for them. Hey, my name is Dale. I'm here in Connecticut. How are you? You sound good. Be there for them. But there's a lot of contests in this calendar you can see, and a lot of stuff that probably isn't listed on here that's not ARRL in different areas or locations or resources to find. But in the meantime, check out the calendar on the website. So to sum this up, what I've said before in other videos is maybe it's not for you, it's not for everybody, and that's okay. But it just seems that everybody gets on the radio, coincidentally, when there's a special event or a field day or a contest. For some reason, the bands are always dead, but then you go on that day and there's a reason to make contacts. Therefore, there's a reason for people to turn the radio on. So it's not for everybody, but don't bash it. If it's not for you, fine. I never ever say that you have to do this, but there's something in this hobby for everybody, and that's what keeps it interesting. If you had to do the exact same thing that I did, it would get pretty dry. 7-3 guys, thanks for watching. KJ4, YZI.